This is Shivakumar. I am submitting second ICP Big Data Analytics course, second assignment. In this assignment, they ask them to solve the problem regarding Spark related concepts, and they ask them to write a Spark program to group the words in the given text file based on their starting letters. In this, they provided input as a text file instead of CSV files. So our responsibility here is to understand what exactly the data is having, and eliminate if there are any unnecessary data that is presented in the text, such as any special symbols that appears, or maybe digits or punctuation marks, or any extra blank spaces that are existing in rest. And before eliminating that, make sure is there any significant impact on the data or not. In this assignment, we don't have any specific reason to not to eliminate the data. That's why I eliminated all the special symbols and numbers and everything, and make the data to be cleaned before processing to the next level. Okay, here we considered to implement this program using a Spark RDD. Here I am using a package called conf package as part of PySpark. Here I created a basic RDD, that is a PySpark.rdd using a Spark config with the help of masters, and this is the Spark contest that I have created using a Spark contest class. And based on the context, based on the Spark contest, I'm going to read the file using an object called Spark context with the help of a method called text file. And after that, I'm going to execute the after that I'm going to print the type of content text that is belongs to. See, the data that is belongs to the content type is nothing but RDT type. For confirmation, one more time I'm going to run it. Check it once. Total in the data, total I have 106 tokens are there. Tokens in the sense in terms of NLP, you can call it as a words. There may be duplicated words, or maybe there may be duplicate the total number of words that are present in a given text file. And after that, I'm going to filter. This is one of the transformation function that we are using as part of RDT. Filter, this line is going to explain if there any non-empty words are there more than one length, more than 0 length, definitely we are going to retrieve those elements. Other than if there are any keywords that are exactly, that is null values, which are having length 0, definitely we are not going to consider at all, because those blank spaces or maybe things that are not going to be impacted as per our assignment is concerned. Second thing is, after considering finding the length non-empty words, after that I'm going to map those all the after that I'm going to arrange all the words that I'm going to retrieve using a filter. I'm going to store it in a list using a concept called a flat map. Flat map is a similar concept to map. Instead, it's going to return the new RDD by applying a function to each element of RDD, but output is going to be distributed across the list in a single element. Lower word. After that, whatever words that are going to be there in the given text, I'm going to convert it to lowercase letters, because of the normalization that I want to make it make the data to be unique across the file. So I'm going to convert all the letters that are presented in the text file. I'm going to converted lower letters after performing non-empty words that are whose length equal to 0. After that, I'm going to count how many number of words that are presented in the text. 106 words are presented over here, words. Then after retrieving the words, I'm applying a group by key function over words that are going to be a lower, and I'm going to calculate it one by one, and arranging those words based on keys and corresponding words to retrieve. This is the operation that is belongs to a transformation function called map. Flat map and map are going to be transformation, including filter, flat map and map are going to be transformation functions as part of Spark. And if you want to perform any actions on RDD after processing transformations, for that means retrieving the data that is presented in the RDD. For that I am using a function called collect to be part of um, RDD package. After applying this particular collect method on RDD, we are going to retrieve the elements one by one that are presented in a given RDD. This is the output that we are having after performing a collect method on RDD. These are the things. The starting letters with the same word are going to be retrieved each line in separately from the given text file called ICP2 text.txt. The same thing that I can going to achieve using a reduced by key. Reduced by key is also another transformation function to be part of RDD, including with filter, flat map, and map. This is another way of doing retrieving the same letter that are retrieving the same words that are starting with the same letter in the given text file. After performing reduced by followed by group by key, I am going to retrieving the files one by one each. I am going to retrieving the words that are existing in a given RDDB one by one each using a action called collect. Total that I have achieved 106 words using a group by transformation function. Another one is the reduce by transformation function. Apart from that, I also performed some other steps using a using a Spark context. Here I performed user-defined functions to remove special characters, numbers, alphabets, and all, converting lower either any special symbols. And word count is also I have performed over there. The same thing that I have implemented in a different way. But in this program, I performed only two things. One is word count problem, and I am going to display how many number of unique words that are presented in a given text file. If you run this particular program, see the outcome here. Here the operation is completely performed based on data frames. Yeah, this sentence is a data frame. This is a data frame. Data frame with 7 lines, and after that I am going to convert those things into words and corresponding counts using word count function. And after that I am going to count the number of unique words that are presented in a given text file is 86. Right. Thank you. From overall, I just understand the functionality of a Spark lifecycle. The first one is how to create RDD and using a Spark, and performed few transformation functions like filter, map, flat map, group by key, and reduced key. And finally I have performed an action called collect on RDD that are performed over transformations of. Yeah. Finally, in the second additional work, I have used some data frames which you need to perform to do some identifying the unique words that are presented in a given text file and the total number of words that are presented in a given data. From the given assignment, I understand how we are going to explore the RDD that is given by Spark Context package, and with the help of master, and then reading the test file followed by performing some transformation functions such as map, flat map, group by key, reduced key. And finally I performed actions on RDD using collected method using collected method using collect method. Finally I got the words that starting with the same letter in overall file in each separate line. In addition to that, I performed word count and unique words presented in the text file. Transformation functions like map, flat map, filter, and a group by key and reduced key. It takes some time to understand, make them to apply a relevant context which is suitable to us. And before performing transformation, it is challenging to make the data to be normalized, which includes converting all the text data into lowercase letters, eliminating numbers, unnecessary information such as blank spaces, punctuations if there are any, that appear in the text which does not have any specific medium. Make sure you just eliminate them. Here numbers does not have any significant numbers in the input data, so numbers also I have eliminated. This is the overall assignment that I have presented in the ICP2 program. Thank you.